This video is for you at Matt and Sarah. Stay tuned. So, Satsumas. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into soak in some vinegar and water solution. And then we're going to make some marmalade. But first, I have to weigh them out. I need 4 pounds. So I have to zero out my scale. It's already on pounds. So tear it again. Get my tear weight. And then we're going to see if I got 4 pounds in here. I know I do. These are Satsumas that I bought from some people that had gotten them in Perry, Florida, and had brought them this way. All right, that's just a little over 4 pounds. And that's only like 11 oranges. So I'm gonna find my recipe. Let's pick it back up. Yes, there it is. So actually, this recipe is a single recipe, so I'm going to need 8 pounds. So I'm going to keep piling in there because I'm going to make a double batch. It's not quite 8 pounds, so let's get some from here. These were actually, I think, left on the tree just a little bit too long. The skins will just fall right off of them. And I will get back and get them peeled after I put them in a soak. So stay tuned. Okay, here we go. So, my oranges have actually been soaking a lot longer than I intended, but that's okay. Because in orange marmalade, you use the peelings as well as the pulp. And there's the white stuff, and I'll show you in just a minute. When you peel an orange or any kind of citrus, you know, you've got this white stuff inside. Most people call pith. So the pith and also seeds and citrus provide pectin, a natural source of pectin. So doing jams and jellies, a lot of times, a lot of people will not use powdered pectin or liquid pectin. And in orange marmalade, that is the case for me. So what we'll do is I just get a small knife so I can at least score them. So I'm not really cutting the orange. All I really want to do is just kind of score the skin so I don't make a huge mess like I did with that first one. And what that does is it allows it to come off in nice, even pieces, because we will be cutting these up. Now, in the past, I have just chopped up the used my food processor rather to chop up the skins, but I've actually, the last marmalade I made, I did cut them, and it didn't really take a long time. So I will be cutting them up, but I do need a bowl to put those in too. So basically what I'm doing right now, just peeling everything, pulling the stems, because when you pick oranges off a tree, you never pull them. You want to cut them on the stem, so you have that stem, and sometimes you'll get a leaf. So just peel those, cut those off, and that way we get our nice little scored area here. And that also peels the majority of the pith off of the fruit. Now, I said I was going to bring y'all back when I finish peeling these, but I happen to think of something. A lot of times I will buy a lot of these oranges, and because, you know, there's only 2 of us here, my husband and I, but, you know, my grandkids and my kids all love them too, so I do share with them. But like, I still have some orange pulp. I have some mixture actually that has the skins and also the pulp already pureed, frozen. I'm the one that eats the orange marmalade. My daughter likes, she likes the Satsumas. She's not a big jam eater. She and I both are in the, you know, process of losing a lot of weight, so we're both kind of watching everything as far as sugar goes. But even in the past, she was never one much for jams. I mean, she'll eat jams, but she'd rather sit down and eat a piece of fruit. She is a fruitaholic. But anyway, sometimes when I get big batches of these, I'll go ahead and cut everything up and puree the pulp and put it in the freezer. And that way, if I get an urge to make some orange marmalade at a time of the year that citrus isn't in season, then I'll pull it out and make some. My next door neighbor, she actually freezes just the juice. She juices it now. I am considering just juicing some of this, simply because I kind of want to can some juice just to have on hand for when you want that, or that citrus juice and you just don't have it, or it may not be available. But I haven't decided yet. It depends on, some of these have been really sweet and some have not. So they may be really good for juice. I'm almost done, so I'll just keep the camera rolling. Well, I've got about 2/3 of them done. All right, so I'm all done with peeling the oranges. So what I'm going to do now is start pureeing the pulp. And I just put it in I have a Ninja blender. And I'm leaving, and some of the strings on this, it's not going to hurt either because that's just extra pectin. So it's not going to hurt to leave some of the white pith on there. jam. I like chunky jam. So I don't puree it to a point where it's nothing but mush. I do leave some chunks in there to make more room. And the thing about orange sections too is even if you don't get them all crushed up in the blender, they will cook down when you're cooking the marmalade. So you don't have to necessarily have every bit kind of chunked up. So what I'm going to do here, get my big jam pot. Shouldn't be mess this up. All this right. And I'm going to put these, after I chop them up, into a different saucepan. So I'm just going to start chopping first. So just cut them in like 1/4 inch strips, because you want to boil these 2 or 3 times. Just put them in there for now. I just take a bunch of them and cut them at the same time. So unfortunately, I'm using my phone to do the video. I had to plug it in. I couldn't use my good microphone. And I have a GoPro on my wish list from Santa Claus. I have to keep my recipe handy because I do refer to it, but I've made this so much that I don't have to look at it very much. Boil the peel for 10 minutes in 4 cups of water. Now I'm going to have to use 8 cups of water because I'm doubling the recipe. And the house smells really good when this is boiling. All right, there's 4 cups. So I'm going to put another 4. So we will start, get that on high. And big spatula that I like to do. I like to use this. Push them all down under the water, and we will be back when that is ready to do again. All right, so we're coming to a boil, and I've got it set for 10 minutes. It will rapidly boil. And the house smells amazing when you walk in the door. Okay, so the timer went off and it is time to drain that. So I'm doubling the recipe. And I've got the those drain, we're going to add the peels to the puree. And then we're going to add 4 cups of water. Bring it over here. Turn this back on. Now, in order for this to come to temperature, we're going to have to boil it for a while. So the next thing we're going to do, oh goodness, we're going to add our sugar and also the lemon juice. Smells really good. Okay, so we need a 1/2 cup fresh lemon juice. When you're making jams and jellies and it asks for fresh lemon juice, always use the bottled lemon juice because lemon juice in the bottle, the pH is more consistent than using fresh. You can use fresh lemon juice. It's just, I guess with canning, I've always just used bottle. I have used some fresh lemon juice before. Now, we're going to add the sugar. And you're going to think this is a huge amount of sugar. And it is. All right. So we're going to measure out 12 cups of sugar. If you're wondering what my 5-gallon bucket is, honey, I'll get my dry measuring cup. There is a difference between dry measure and wet measure. So make sure that you are using a dry measure when you're measuring dry materials. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's half of it. It's a lot of sugar. I'm just going to pour it right in there. About 6 more cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to pour all this in here. And then we're going to give it a stir or 2. It's going to take it a while to come up to temperature. And what I'm hoping, you're going to find some seeds. Satsuma, some Satsumas, they will have seeds. And so I always tell people, be careful. There may be seeds in this. I try to pick them out when I see them. As it starts boiling and it gets hotter, they do tend mostly to float to the top. But it's just easier getting them out this way to me than to try to remove seeds when you're peeling and everything. So now, the other night it took quite a while for everything to boil to where it needed to be. So we're going to leave this. I'm going to time it for like 30 minutes at a time. And then we will check it periodically. And in the meantime, I'm going to go see what I can find to cook for supper. And go gather eggs. I'm going to find the lid. That's going to help it come up to temperature much faster. It says on medium. I turn it usually around 7 on my stove, and we'll let that come up to temperature, and then I'll get my candy thermometer in a little bit. Okay, we'll be back. All right, so I'm going to let you look at this. It's really boiling pretty good. I'm going to get my candy thermometer and let's see what it's going to register at. Again, got it out. Yes, it did. All right, so be careful with this stuff because it's like molten lava. And I burned myself making orange marmalade when it splashed on me. So we want the temperature to get up to 220 degrees, and I know that from calibrating my candy thermometer when I was doing the pineapple jam video, that my thermometer is actually 2 degrees off. And surprisingly, it's already up to 212. So we're almost there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this up just a bit, and I'm going to put just a bit of butter. The butter is to control the foaming, because as it comes up to temperature, it will start to foam. So when using a candy thermometer, you want to, I have this kind and I also have a glass kind, and you don't want to put it all the way down to the bottom because you don't want to measure the temperature of the bottom of the pot. You want to actually measure the temperature of the liquid. So I'm going to put the lid back on it. I'm going to turn the heat up to prevent, put the lid on to prevent it from splashing, and see if I can get it up to temperature. So like I said, these electric stoves, they're constantly going on. The eye constantly goes on and off to maintain a specific temperature. So it's difficult to gauge, and you really just kind of have to boil it longer and longer. But we'll just let it go for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to start preparing supper. All right, I'm going to check. Oh, that's smart. Got me a glove to start with. Getting burnt. Oh, now it's starting to come around. It's funny how it never registers on my thermometer, but it is starting to kind of thicken up. I can feel it at the bottom. So we're just going to cook it a little bit longer. I'm moving jars around so I can work right here at the stove. And here's my pineapple jalapeno that I did last night or yesterday. And my daughter's already grabbed a jar. She's so funny. And I didn't put my jars in the oven this time because I'm using my oven to cook supper. So I have them in hot water in the sink. So the kicker in this recipe is I add a touch of vanilla and some good bourbon. My husband's getting tired of me stealing this Crown Royal though, but he's not drinking it. All right, so this is going to be a 4th cup of bourbon. And I usually just put just a cap full or 2 of vanilla. One of the ways you can test your jam if your water you have trouble getting it up to temperature, is take just a bit of the jam, pour it on a plate, and put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Maybe even less. See what's for supper. We make pictures of our suppers from beef hash and eggs. It's pretty well set.
Okay, it's like eggs.
Corned beef hash and eggs. This is molten lava. That's why I have this rubber glove on when I reach in to stir it. I'm gonna let my dinner cool some. All right, so it really looks like it's ready. So let me go ahead and pour it up into the jars. Do that yet. The piece de resistance. And you pour this up to a 1/4 inch headspace, which is kind of hard to judge when you have one of these types of funnels. But you can get a good guesstimate. It's usually about 1.5 of these scoops. have to put my 8-ounce jars first. The bourbon and the vanilla really makes the orange flavor pop. And considering we poured everything in while it was boiling, I would venture to say there is no alcohol content in this. I'm gonna have to put some in pints. That's okay. Probably give that one to Kevin's mom for Christmas. So if you've got an electric flat top glass top stove that kind of kicks on and off, and you can't get the candy thermometer to go above boiling, you just keep boiling and keep boiling and keep boiling. We probably boiled this, I'll have to look back at the timestamps, but and I'll let you know at the end of the video how long we let this boil. But you may just have to let it boil and boil and boil. You just kind of watch for a thickening. Oops. Need more jars. Actually, I don't think I will. I think what I'm going to do is pour the rest of this up, and just want to make sure I got a 1/4 inch on all of these. So 1/4 inch headspace is what you use for jams and jellies. All right. Like I said, pour this in a container and put it in the refrigerator after it cools. For me. That's good. Ow, burnt my lip. Okay. I will come back after dinner and we will process. All right, so we are going to get the lids on these. Get some of this stuff out of the way and get them processed. So we're going to be wiping down the lids again with some vinegar. Just to get the sticky off. Oh, that one's got a chip in it that I didn't know about, so we're gonna have to get another jar. What's good about wiping your rinse is you can feel imperfections in the glass, and that chip has probably been there for a while and I just didn't notice it. But what's nice is your paper towel can kind of act as your finger. This is a really pretty jam. I just think orange marmalade is so pretty. Alright, so we're gonna just take this. Oh, that's hot. It's very, very, very warm. So, let's try that again without burning myself. Okay, and we will throw that jar away. Alright, bowl. It's jeez, stuck together. Sectioned together. Okay. So we're going to get this one out. And get some hot water. Now, the drawback to using a Presto is you don't have the basket to put the jars in to lift them out and to dump them in. So that is a drawback. But we may do. Okay, so I think I'm going to put these around the bottom. I think I'll put all of them in there. So I'm going to have to put it right in here. That's why I don't like using the size jars. But sometimes it cannot be helped, especially if you don't want to go up to it. That makes it fun. Alright, we have that about 1 inch above. So we're going to water bath this. So I'm going to take this little plug out and just pop it out and set it over to the side. And then turn the heat on. And it's going to take forever for it to come to a boil, but that's okay. We'll be back. It's just starting to put steam out the top, so it should be up to a boil in about 5 minutes or so. That's a lot of water to come to a boil. We'll be back. Alright, steam is coming out, so we're going to set it for 10 minutes and let it process, and then we'll be back. Alright, timer's going off. Turn it off. Move it off the eye after I set up the camera. Okie dokie. Oh, it's heavy. Let it vent for just a few minutes, and then I'll be back and take them out. All right, we're going to take the jam out. Okay, so this has been processing for 10 minutes. And lift those out and set them over here to cool. And we should start hearing some pops or caps popping real soon. There goes one. And 2. 3. Oh. This is what's bad. That's the part I don't like. Out can or water bath canning this. Ooh, we need to get some of that water out. Some of these tops that are popping may sound a little different than what you're used to. I had some that were Golden Harvest. I actually kind of like them. I haven't had any problems with them yet. The pink ones are the balls. All right, there we go. Pinging away. What you think? Isn't that beautiful? It's just really a pretty jam. pretty. It's a pretty jam. Alright, there you go. That video's for you, Matt and Sarah.